Welcome to the Short-Term Rental Source podcast. It is our mission to help you learn how to successfully launch and self-manage your short-term rental with less pain and earn you more money. Enjoy interviews with industry leaders and musings about this challenging but fun STR life. Here's your host, Kim Fitzpatrick.
Okay, I want to get into a really great discovery that I realized today. So I've been on this journey for a while. It's going to be a long one. So just like sit back and get something to drink. I don't know, enjoy the ride, folks. Today has been a fun day in, like a very long and stressful process. So here's how this is going. I've had a business partner that I've had for 2 years, and things were good while they were good. And sometimes you just know it's time to move on. And in doing so, we had 2 properties together, and he took one and I took the other. So instead of being 50-50 financial partners in 2, we're each 100% financial owners in each one. So, and we worked it all out, worked all the numbers out, and came up with a fair, final split up. And, I think we're both happy to be going on our own ways now. And, in doing all of this, there's a lot to buying a property, getting a new loan, getting new insurance. I had another open claim on another property that I had no idea would affect buying new insurance in a whole nother state. But you live and learn and you go through these things. So with that, I had to have appraisals on 2 different properties at the same time. And here's what I learned. That I don't really want to get into exact numbers so much because the numbers don't really matter. And this is kind of a numbery thing and it's kind of exciting, but I want you to be able to plug in like your own numbers and know that you can do what I'm doing. And here is the thing. My parents are both passed away. My dad passed away at 62, and then my mom when she was 65, and that has been a number of years now. We just celebrated 10 years of my dad passing. So I guess that would make us about 7 with my mom. So it's been a while. And when they passed, they of course left their children some money. And we were just regular old middle class folks who did regular old middle class things. So I'm sure many of you can relate. We didn't go on a lot of vacations. We didn't own any second homes. We didn't have any luxurious cars. My son now drives my dad's pickup truck. It's the nicest one that he ever owned in his whole life. And it was my son's first vehicle because we just didn't put a lot of stock in vehicles. So it was just the thing. My mom had nicer cars, but nothing out of the ordinary. Anyway, I digress. Here is the thing. I got the properties appraised, and one property that I own, 100% my own, and I have always owned, I realize now that it has doubled in value in just over 2 years. Say what? Doubled in value in just over 2 years. And this other property that I am working on, still in the process of, but by the time this video is posted, will be finalized. I will own this property, and I technically have owned it for 2 years, and it will be all mine. That property has, let me do the math in my head. Oh, it's not quite doubled in value. Definitely more than 1.5. I don't do a lot of math in my head, but I want to say like 1 3/4. So it hasn't doubled. It's more than 1.5. It's somewhere in between 1.5 and 2 times what it was worth just under 2 years ago. Oh my gosh, I should have just said the real numbers. It'd be easier. But when I added those 2 together, and then I realized I own my own home, and I also have some investment money. If I were to pass away today, please, I don't want to, I have so much to do here. But if I were, which, I mean, there is better than here, but if I left my sons with what I have now, it's more than my parents left me. And I'm a single mom, and I was a teacher, and my highest earning year as a teacher was $68,000, and my smaller of these two properties matched my paycheck month after month after month. And that's how I realized I could get out of teaching. And I'm sorry, it's just like when you realize what you're doing, it's the magnitude of this is shocking. But yeah, one property matched my teaching paycheck. And then I had this other one, and now I have two. But in addition to taking that monthly income that is combined exceeding my teaching salary, I have equity. And I know that is paper. What do they call it? They call it something. I heard it lately because, I'm new to this world. I used to be an employee for like my whole life. But I'm paper rich and cash poor. Sure. I mean, I admit that. I have a lot of equity in these properties, but I still own them. So I don't actually, my son was like, you don't actually get the money until you sell it. And I was like, okay, smarty pants, you're 15. But to know that I could sell these properties today and be able to give my kids more than my parents were able to give me. And that was really something that was important to my dad and has now become important to me too, because I want to honor my dad and his values, because he was a wonderful person. Same with my mom. Absolutely two of the most incredible people on the planet. And I mean, it's just a big deal. It's a big deal to have come from nothing after I got divorced and had to use government assistance, and then got off of that, got a job quickly, and felt so grateful for my job. And then when I realized that I could also do this short-term rental thing as well as my job to supplement so my kids could have money to do the things that they enjoy doing, like play sports after school, like any kid, or like, have clothes that fit as they grow, I didn't realize that this was going to be more than that. I really thought I was just going to make a little extra money. I could have done Uber, but I did this, except I had no sense of direction. So I went with this. Honestly, that's what it was. And now here I am being able to give my kids more than my parents could give me. And I just thought my dad could, he was just this amazing man that worked so hard. And I felt like he talked a lot about saving and investing and providing for us kids after he left. And he did that, and he worked really hard to do that. And for me to be able to follow in his footsteps and to do it very quickly is overwhelming. It's just overwhelming. I'm just so grateful. So I just wanted to share. I know this is heartfelt and emotional, but it really means a lot. And sometimes we get in the weeds and we worry about, today, somebody gave me a 1-star for check-in because, I forgot to put her code on the door thing. And it was the day that Dolly came to the cabin. Exciting day, right? And it slipped my mind. I knew the guest was coming. I knew we had to be out. I knew that I was getting on a plane and I had to wrap a bunch of stuff up before I left town, so that we could get Dolly's pictures and then the guest could come in and da-da-da. And I just forgot to put her door code in. And she's newly pregnant and tired and grumpy, and it took an hour and a half of me being on a plane with no Wi-Fi, and she couldn't get in, and she was mad, and her husband was frustrated that his wife had to be tired and grumpy outside in the rain and didn't have a comfortable place to lay down at the end of the day. And it's all my fault. And I got a 1-star review, and that we can get really worked up about that. We can get really upset about that. And I'm upset that I didn't do what I should have done as a host, and I deserve that 1 star, and I'm not fighting it. And that's on me. We make mistakes, but sometimes things are hard. And then when you look at the numbers and you see how far you've come, and you see that while I'm still in the grind, just like you guys, we're just grinding away. I'm leaving a legacy. I'm doing it. It's working, and it's working better than I anticipated. It's just exciting. It's like I'm trying not to just like and hold it together, but like you guys, it's working. We just choose our properties and we love them, and we work really hard to entertain our guests and to make them feel welcome, and that's how we get our daily our nightly rate, our daily rate, whatever. But if we acquire the right property too, we also gain equity year over year. But right now it's month over month, and I know we're in this crazy time where everything's all over the place, and things are skyrocketing quickly, and this just could be timing, it could be it could be luck, it could be divine. But it's happening, and it may not always happen this fast, and it may not always happen this well, but it happens. And they say that 80% of self-made millionaires in this country are real estate investors. So we have a pretty good chance of doing a really good job. So anyway, I just want you to really think when it's hard, and when you're stressed out, when you're frustrated, and I think you just want to like throw it in or sell it and find something different to do. Maybe you don't. Maybe you keep going, and maybe you have something to give to your kids, and maybe you have something that you can do something else with, something bigger with. I never thought that I would own property worth this much money. I never thought I would. And here I am. So it's just special. This is a great thing that we're doing, and we're providing value to people, to families. I mean, I didn't really provide value to that poor newly pregnant woman, and I will, I earned that 1 star for that. I did. But that's an outlier, and it reminds me to do better next time, and to put in my door codes like I'm supposed to. And if I can't figure that out, then get automated software that does it for me, so that it is figured out for the guests, whether it's me or whether it's automation. And that's just part of this whole learning and growing process. I'm 2 years in, and I forgot a door code for a pregnant woman. Ugh. Like, I know better, and I can do better. But my properties are doing really great, and I continue to refine my processes all the time. And I'm here being authentic with you, and I'm telling you that my dad was an executive for Fred Meyer, which most of the country does not know, but they got bought out by Kroger. They're a local grocery chain, and they have a lot of locations here in the Northwest. And my dad created the financial software that runs the cash registers, and there was only just a handful of people above him in the company. He worked in the main office, and now and he worked very hard to invest so that his daughters would have something when he passed. And I've used his inheritance that I got, and I bought my first house, which allowed me to start Airbnb on my couch. Yeah, on my couch, $25 a night. That's where I started. And I also rented out a room in my house. So I stayed, if you don't know my story, I stayed in the little 3rd bedroom. Me as a full-grown adult owning the house stayed in the smallest room. My 2 boys stayed in the bigger 2nd bedroom, and the 3 of us shared a hall bathroom. That's just such a treat. Such a treat. For years we did that. And the guests stayed in the main ensuite room, and that way they would have their privacy, and we would have, our family would be separated from our guests, and that was the best. But we shared the living room, the kitchen, the driveway, the front door, all of that. And renting out my couch for $25 a night, renting out the bedroom, which honestly, it started with an air mattress on the floor. And I think that room, the first night I rented it, was maybe $35 or $40 a night. And obviously I got furniture. I used the money to get furniture. I found a great mattress at a garage sale, and I only had $35 in my pocket, and the lady let me take it from her for $35. And it's a wonderful mattress. It's so wonderful. It's great. She bought it for her mother that was going to come live with her in her old age, and the mother only lived with him for 2 weeks, and the mattress was barely used, obviously. And we took it and we created something great out of it. And that mattress is now like 5 years old and going strong, and guests love it. And yeah, you just make something out of nothing. And pretty soon, renting your couch out for $25, renting your spare bedroom with an air mattress that turns into a garage sale mattress, and then you just keep elevating your game as you go, turns into, I'm giving my children more than my parents could give me. And I'm really proud. I'm just really proud. And I don't say this to you to brag or to boast or to be like, look at me and look at all I've done. I say this to say you can do this. You can do this for your family too. Like, I was a PE teacher. I didn't have any real estate buying experience. I didn't have any hosting experience. I've never been a waitress. I wasn't a I don't even know the name of the people that when you greet, you go to the restaurant, you said, table for 4, please. And they said, 4, okay, it'll be 30 minutes. Just wait right there. I don't know. It wasn't even that. I've never worked in a hotel, and I don't have any hospitality experience, except for I just have a genuine love for people. And I don't know, I was a PE teacher. You guys. Like, they called me the gym coach when they didn't know what I was called. I don't know. Well, I've been called a lot of things, but I'm just a regular old person. And I started renting out my couch for $25 a night, and I rented out a room for $35, $40 a night with a air mattress, and I turned it into $65 a night when I got an actual mattress and a bed frame. And then I rent now, because I get to travel so much. I rent out my whole house, and except for my kids' room. They like to have their space, and so we lock their doors, and everybody knows the story on that. If not, I'll tell you again. I talk about it all the time. But yeah, I rent out my whole house, and it pays the mortgage every month. And I don't have to live with people anymore, and I don't have to share a bathroom with my kids. And that feels like a win. And I know I'm rambling, but as I ramble, I want you to be hearing that you can do this too, that you can set yourself apart, and that you can just take tiny baby steps, whatever it is. How small does it need to be? And eventually you just keep that snowball rolling until it becomes this huge thing, and you have a legacy to give to your kids. And I had no idea that I would be able to retire from teaching at 43 years old. I had no idea that I would be giving my kids when I pass. I mean, I don't want to pass anytime soon, and I don't know what the future holds. Like, it could all come crashing down. I acknowledge that. But if today was the last day, I have more to give than what my parents gave me. And I just felt so rich with what they gave me. Money, I didn't know how to use the money really. And I didn't want the money. I wanted my parents, of course. But I felt like they gave me the world, with their love and their care and their attention and their time and all that they gave me. So I can give my kids all the love and attention they want, and they're teenagers, and that is way more than they want most days. But I can also give them now, today, I realize security and, I don't know, shelter from a storm of a rainy day / life / I don't know, what if something crazy happens in their life that puts them in financial ruin at 36 years old like it did me? Like, now they're protected. And I don't know. I feel good about it. And I want to share because I want you to think about the good. And I know I'm like all somber and stuff, but like it's a different kind of happy when what you do is like doing something for somebody else. It's just a different kind of happy. It means so much more than like me getting on another airplane and getting to go see something cool because I want to. It just means so much more. So anyway, I'm going to end this, but yeah, serving others has helped me serve my kids, and making these choices, just fumbling through day by day, fumbling through, starting with a couch, starting with an air mattress, and even this week getting a 1-star review because 14 days ago I forgot the door code. So like, we're not perfect and things happen and we screw up, but also we need to look beyond like just this immediate, just this thing that just happens. That like a 1-star review is overwhelming to a lot of people, and I get that. And it's not at all what I strive for, and it's not my standard, but I'm just really thankful that I could also see not only the moment of frustration, but the runway, this runway. I want to say this huge long runway, but let's get real. It's not even that long of a runway right now, but of how far I've come and what I can do and what you can do for your family too. So even if you don't have kids, yeah, so say you don't have kids and you're like, who am I going to leave this money to? What do you care about? I mean, if you care, I think of this friend that I have that I adore, how much she gives to the local animal shelter. She gives of her time and her attention, and I always see these cute tiny little kittens that she fosters, and she calls them by cool names. Like, it's like a whole family of names, and it's so creative and fun, and I love watching that. And how much could we do for an animal shelter? And how much could we do for just our passions and whatever? Like, how many homeless people could we feed? How many could we do with all of this? So anyway, I just want you to realize there's more to it than cute decorations and throw pillows, and there's more to that good. And there's more than just a guest that's annoying or that leaves you a 1-star review. There's more to it. It's bigger. It's deeper. It's more powerful and meaningful than anything I ever anticipated. So I want to think about that sometimes too. Anyway, enough thinking. It's time to do. So in hearing all of this, just take an action step. And I don't know your situation. I don't know your story. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to my laptop right now. So whoever's hearing this, use this and take action. Don't just hear it and go, oh, what a lovely story. Use it and take action in your own life, and do something meaningful and powerful, and just do one tiny little thing, like put your darn door code in before they get there, right? Or do something huge that you've been putting off, but take action, do it, and just keep doing it day by day. Okay, love y'all. Bye.